All of the major players are making it out to the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Spain to bring some big announcements, making this show probably the biggest announcement-heavy one of the year. So if they're going to bring their A-game, so are we, like we always do for our trade tech shows. So it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And we're going to recap the rumors leading into MWC, but also for the first time, we're going to show you what we're rocking for the Mobile World Congress. So as you can see here, I have my Timbuk2 Power Commute Bag. This is my bread and butter right here. The bag I take literally everywhere with me, and trade shows are no exception. But this is not a traditional what's in my bag type of video, primarily because I can't fit everything in this bag. You can see over here, I have a bit over here, and also my Monopod over on the right side here, just to illustrate for you that I can't necessarily fit everything in this bag, and thus when I go to trade shows, things tend to be carried outside of just the bag that's around my shoulder. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into the first rumor that is really not actually a rumor, but is definitely what we can expect heading into the Mobile World Congress, and it has to do with LG. Out of LG's camp, we see that they have already announced two different devices leading into MWC, and that is the LG G2 Mini, which is a somewhat lower spec end than the original G2 phone, but then they oversized the G2 into the LG G2 Pro, which is a lot like Mobile World Congress last year, where we had the Optimus G Pro, which was one of our favorite devices of the show. And this year we're going to see how the LG G2 Pro stacks up to the competition, and also we're going to find out just how well LG has evolved ever since the original Optimus G Pro. Starting off with the back end of my bag right here, we have my laptop, which is again another piece of my bread and butter right here. Basically because this is where all of the magic gets put together. This is my MSI GE40, which is one of the first Ultra blades to come out, sporting very high specifications in a 14-inch body. I was looking for a ultra portable laptop because my previous one was this 15-inch Sager behemoth that was just a pain to carry everywhere during tech shows. Now, another follow-up to last year's Mobile World Congress is coming from Sony, is the Sony Xperia Tablet Z2. Now, that's quite a bit of a mouthful, but we are very excited to see what Sony has in store for this upcoming tablet. Now, last year, the sleek look of the tablet definitely won our hearts, and it was one of the best, in my case, black slate devices, as you know that phrase I love so much, that came out last year, and to me is one of the best tablets on the market. We're also hoping that Sony is going to put out a massively needed update to its Xperia or Timescape UI to Android 4.4 KitKat, and we'll see what Sony does with the enhancements that are found in the newest Android operating system. All right, so we open up the bag here and we're gonna take a look at the contents that are inside, mainly the smaller bits, and I'll get to the stuff on my sides in a little bit as well. The first thing I wanna talk about, because I'm super excited about it, is our upgraded audio setup. Now, I can't show you right away the lapel system that's being used because I'm using it right now to record this video, but I can tell you it is the tried and true Sennheiser system that you probably see a lot of trade show people end up using. Speaking of super excited updates to, let's say, software and even hardware, we're going to take a look at all of the announcements that might come out of the Samsung camp. Now, around this time of year, maybe a little bit later, we are seeing the emergence of rumors about the new Galaxy S phone. But not only are we seeing that, we're also getting hints that perhaps the operating system that we love to hate or hate to love, TouchWiz, is really going to get the type of update that we've been really wanting it to have. All right, so I'll go ahead and get into the bits that are on my side right here. I'll start off with my trusty Monopod, which is right here. This is a Manfrotto Monopod that I typically put that camera on here when I'm just recording, let's say, B-roll, or I'm recording Darcy when he's doing an interview. Essentially, what this Monopod allows you to do is to run and gun, but still have some stable images when you're doing your videos. So this is the Monopod right here, and extends out quite a long ways, and if you see some of my panning shots coming from way above, this is what I use because it just gets that tall. I also have a Manfrotto tripod that my camera is on right now that I can't show you, but here is the Monopod that I use for our trade shows. And also from Samsung, we are expecting a sleeker Galaxy Gear. Now, the smartwatch out of Samsung's camp was one that actually did raise a few eyebrows, primarily because of its functionality and also from Samsung's backing its integration with the TouchWiz in the Galaxy Note 3 and the Galaxy S4 before it. Aside from a slimmer, sleeker design, we are also looking for a slimmer price point, and we're going to see what that exactly is once it is announced at MWC. Now the bits over here, these are two LED lights. These are the Z96 LEDs that you'll probably see if you search on Google or even on YouTube just for a little bit. You'll see these are some of the most popular ones. I have a couple here just to make sure that we get a good spread on our lighting, but these aren't necessarily used for actual interviews and for most of the videos you see on the trade show floor, primarily because the trade show floor happens to be pretty well lit to begin with. But in order to alleviate some of the situations we got into at previous shows where sometimes when you get exclusive access to some stuff, it's in a very dimly lit area, this is definitely what we're going to use to make that less of a problem. And as you can see here, I hope I'm not going to blind you too much here, they do get really bright and it should really help with our lighting in particular situations. And when it comes to Samsung, we finally look at the Galaxy S5. Yes, everything is pointing to the Galaxy S5 being an announcement at MWC, what with the unpacked invites going out, and also pretty much every rumor pointing to the fact that that phone is coming out in the next month or so. So as far as the Galaxy S5 goes, one thing we're really excited about, as we alluded to in the TouchWiz section, is that Samsung is looking to go back to basics when it comes to their design. They're going back to the drawing board, it looks like, to really revamp and really make a new identity for the Galaxy S line, because we might have been too used to the last few iterations. Going back to the cameras, I do want to tell you what camera I use primarily for my videos. The one you're seeing that is filming this video right now is the Panasonic Lumix GH3. Now that's what I call my production camera. It is used for all of my videos. It is really good for pictures, but it has great video capturing quality to it. Now, it's really exciting to say that we're talking about Android, and yet I get to utter Nokia's name. Nokia apparently is coming out with more of a mid-tier phone, maybe entry-level if you want to look at it that way, but it is Nokia's first foray into the Android space, and originally it was called Normandy, but now we're taking on the X name again, as the Nokia X is what we are going to look forward to. As far as hardware and specs go, the specs aren't going to be anything to really write home about. It doesn't look like it, at least, but as far as Nokia's hardware prowess goes, we can pretty much expect a very sturdy phone, and one that might really make a splash in the Android space and make us really excited for what they have in store for the future. And so, there you have it for this roundup of the rumors leading into the Mobile World Congress at Barcelona, Spain, and also a roundup of what we rock when it comes to going to various tech shows around the world. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for all of the best coverage. I am heading out for MWC tomorrow, and so is Darcy, and we're meeting up with Bogdan, who wrote the roundup post on AndroidAuthority.com, so you should go check it out. And we're all going to meet up later this week in Barcelona, Spain, and you'll hear back from us, and we'll tell you what we're excited about to see at this show. And then we're going to report on it and bring you all of the best coverage, because Android Authority is your source for all things Android.